guys, welcome back to another episode of Captain Kirk Productions. Today on the show we have once again Dr. Chef.
How you guys doing?
And Drake.
So we let's start by saying there's no comics in this video, right?
Right.
Okay.
There's also I have no idea what's going on.
That's how we want it.
Yeah.
This video, I don't know if anyone's gonna watch it, but it'll be really good therapy for me. So
That's good.
this has been a really big week for me, for multiple reasons, but specific to this video is we're gonna talk about the Snyder Cut. And not only are we going to talk about the Snyder Cut, we're going to talk about Henry Cavill. It's like a small little bit. But I would really like to talk about this. I know a lot of people have been talking about it online, and people said it would never happen. It's happening. It's great. So, let me give you guys some background context here.
Well, I got thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, you had a lot of questions when we spoke on the phone a few days ago. I said, just save it. We'll talk about it in the video. So, context here. Do you have some background questions?
Yeah, but don't they have the context?
Yeah, they have the context. You don't know.
They know what the Snyder Cut is.
Okay, yes.
But I was reading on it today, weirdly.
No, you were getting ready.
I didn't know.
I know all about it.
Okay, well,
maybe we shouldn't.
Zack Snyder announced when he was doing a live kind of screening of Man of Steel that he was going to complete his version of Justice League, and people just lost their minds, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome. So,
and it's huge because he hired a lot of the editors and stuff back up again.
Yeah, Warner Brothers gave him,
and they might do some voiceovers.
Yeah,
the characters.
$20 to $30 million to finish his version of the Justice League. They might do some reshoots. They might do some voiceovers to complete it. Most of it's done, other than like visual effects, but maybe they'll do some other things.
I got some insights on it.
Yeah. So why don't you start us off?
Let me first start by saying this doesn't happen at all, or
I don't think
this doesn't happen without the coronavirus.
Well, I don't think that.
No, I'm saying it's not.
Okay, we'll share your opinion. Go ahead.
I think it's not. This cut wouldn't come out if people weren't at home. Because they're at home, they were begging for it. They thought it was gonna come out right away because they didn't know it needed edited. Right?
I will say I don't think it's the coronavirus. I would say it's because of the popularity of streaming platforms. Because this has been in the works for over 2 years.
Yeah, but it's like more popular right now because everyone's at home. Well, it was or starting to come back, but they were at home. And like the Michael Jordan documentary came out.
Nothing else is happening.
Well, this also is not even coming out till next year. So.
I know, but the demand for it grew, so they finally decided to release it. They have to. He doesn't want to just do it raw like that.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But my thing
Go ahead and talk about your point.
My thing is, it's basically WB. They're basically saying we messed up. We're at fault. You're right.
Everyone knew it, but them.
Yeah, and so they're actually admitting their own stupidity, which for a huge, industry to do that, I mean that's big. And I think Captain Kirk was telling me that a lot of those leaders are no longer in the picture.
Basically,
and made those decisions.
Pretty sure almost all of them just kind of lost their jobs or just got reshuffled within the company because. The movie didn't do well. It wasn't it wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of like, eh.
It was a failure for what it should have been.
Yes, exactly.
I think it should have been like 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
They try to fit in like so many stories into one thing. Like,
when you have that many characters and that many
they didn't
things
introduce
happening,
anyone.
No, it was just like, here you go. So, I'm really pumped about this because from the bits and pieces I've heard about what this movie was going to be before Josh Whedon took it over and did his own thing with it, sounded pretty awesome. So I'm excited to see that vision become completed.
So I know some stuff should we talk about it?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
So Cyborg's supposed
Spoiler alert. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Cyborg's supposed to be at the center of it all, actually. And they're supposed to be like showing like in their cut, his dad's supposed to die. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be like a sad part in that too, because in that movie like he got saved, right? So he's supposed to come back. It's supposed to be like a whole backstory to him and Flash. They don't just throw him in there like they did the movie.
Yeah.
So they go a lot more into Cyborg's backstory. They talk about like he played, I think it's like college football or high school football. He's really good at it. Like you said, his dad, Flash, Iris West was supposed to be in the film, and they cut her out. And there was like a whole scene with her
saving her.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff they're adding. Also, my personal kind of cool thing, and I know fans are really excited to see this black suit Superman. So after he gets raised from the dead, essentially, he gets this black suit. He looks pretty awesome. So I'm excited to see that. So that is actually, they made there's a few clips of that. They got leaked that actually got cut from the film. So that actually was maybe going to be in it at some point, but that's kind of cool.
So I mean, this is huge for Snyder because I mean, it was basically his failure. Even if he didn't do it, he didn't finish the movie. But media, it was Zack Snyder's failure.
No.
Basically, it was.
It wasn't until now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's only a failure because someone took over it.
Right. Like it was the failure of Zack Snyder, which led to Whedon, which led to a mediocre movie. That's how the media basically portrayed it, and so this will be huge for Zack if he can come back and put in a movie that is worthy of.
That's the hitch. If it's not good, then
it
was all for it's just gonna make him look worse.
Right.
Like they're gonna be like WB or whatever, DC or I don't know. Or they're gonna be like they did the right thing by getting what's his name. So I think he's gonna spend a lot of time and money.
I think this film is going to be 1,000 times better than what the product was. Darkseid is going to be.
He makes appearance.
He's going to be in it a few times. I don't know if Green Lantern's going to be in it, but I know Martian Manhunter is going to be in the film. Lots of just cool stuff.
And it was WB, right, that put this out.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
So here's kind of the info I kind of received is that at least now the film is going to be like 4.5 hours. Initially, when he kind of came up with it, it was like 3 or 3.5, and WB is like, you need to trim it down to 2, and he initially turned in like a 2.5 hour cut, and then so he had to step away because of his daughter, and then Joss Whedon took over, and from what I've heard, about 25% of the movie that we got was actually Zack Snyder, since 75% of it was Whedon. Yes, so the majority of the stuff that Zack Snyder wanted to do was going to be in the film is not there whatsoever.
Things like the mustache and no mustache, like
that was horrible.
Why?
That was.
I mean, I don't know if that was that a director's fault.
That was
or
100% Joss Whedon, 100%.
He's just such a pompous little. I don't like him, but yeah, that's another discussion.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna state an unpopular opinion, and I don't care. That's my channel. So, I really like the Avengers. Okay, but for me anyway, if you go back,
this is my channel now. I know what you're gonna say.
No, if you go back and watch the first one, like when I first watched that, I was like, this is a really awesome movie.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good story. So, the first Avengers movie comes out. I see it. I think it's amazing, and it's still a good movie. So, actually, a few months later after that, Man of Steel was coming out. I think it was a few months later, and so they had this promotion Walmart did, where you could go to Walmart, you could get tickets early, and you could actually see the film early on Father's Day. So I got up real early, go to Walmart, got tickets so me and my dad could go for Father's Day, and I'm standing in line, and there's lots of nerdy people, obviously. So there's this guy talking, and he's like, I really hope that this movie makes more money than Avengers. Like, it really wasn't that good. The dialogue's not that good. And I'm thinking, this guy's like just a sour fanboy. Like, that movie was awesome. I'm like, this guy, I don't know, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, years later, as my movie preference has kind of expanded, and I still love comic book movies. I mean, they're amazing. I go back and watch that first Avengers movie, there's a lot of dialogue that is just cringeworthy. And it's just like, Joss Whedon, what were you thinking? Like, there's a lot of just dialogue that I just initially was like, oh, that's whatever. And now when I watch it, I'm like, this is not good. Like,
yeah, but how long ago was that movie?
It's like 8 years ago.
That's a film industry now. How fast it's like moving ahead. That's a lot.
But most of the other films, I feel like they hold up.
Watch
Iron Man holds up fine.
Watch because it was a really good movie.
So you're saying Avengers isn't a good movie? Is that what you're saying?
In your opinion, it wasn't. So,
I'm not saying it's not a good movie. I'm just saying the dialogue was not good.
Yeah.
I just have to go off on that rant.
But there's also another thing. There's like the Justice League could have been a good movie if the Marvel movies weren't there. Like, if you didn't have nothing to compare to, you would have been like, oh, this is amazing. But you compared it to like the Avengers Infinity War and stuff like that, or whatever movies were out at that time, and you're just like, it doesn't compare to
even
that.
at that time, like we still had the Dark Knight trilogy. Like they had those really awesome movies, and even with those being out, I was still like, Avengers was awesome. And then now, later on, as I rewatch it, I'm just like, it's good, it's fine.
Some of those stories didn't really need to be told, and they did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well,
like they did the background stories. I mean, it was part of their plan, but like DC didn't do it. Like they should have. If they would have done it the same way, they would have done a Flash movie, a Wonder Woman. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think they just tried too hard to not be Marvel, and then not being Marvel, everything just kind of.
It's crazy because the fans wanted them to be Marvel. Everyone wants like a Wonder. Like they got the Wonder Woman. They want a Flash movie. They want a Cyborg movie.
Well, I guess yes, but also like with the success of the Marvel films, they also want to try to make DC more like Marvel. They want it to be more lighthearted, more funny, and at the core, that's not what DC is.
No, not at
DC
all.
thrives on being darker, grittier, just telling like really good stories. Like Joker was freaking amazing, you know. So we're getting off topic. So let's talk about more about the Snyder Cut.
We're getting way off topic.
We can talk more about things we don't like later.
You know, I just think I agree with Dr. Chef's point earlier. I think if this movie's good, then good for Zack. You know, he told a story and he came out on top. You know, beat the network. Great. If it's bad or if it gets super mixed reviews, then I mean, it's hard to see him really being able to come back. It seems like to me.
He has a little bit of advantage though, because they're not comparing it to the other superhero movies. They're just going to compare it to the old movie. Only.
Right.
You know
All you have to do is be better than that
we
movie.
did. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
Which I agree with that. So
it shouldn't be hard to do.
It shouldn't be hard.
It shouldn't be, especially with all. And there's like a lot of hype, so it's going to get sold. A lot of tickets.
There have been
or
people,
whatever streaming views or whatever.
There have been people that have seen it and have said that it's really good, even with it not being finished. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I've heard either they might do kind of like an episodic thing where they'll do like an hour each week because it could be.
They should turn it into like a series, like
That's what they might be doing.
Yeah,
well,
like, you know how Infinity Wars was like to be continued, basically.
Yeah,
just do that. They don't have to like make it end. They could just be like to be continued.
Right, but they should cut it into like
3 movies or 2 movies.
I don't know, even more than that. It would be cool if they made it into a series and then promoted it on,
Yeah, but they don't have that much content.
What's that?
First, like, what do you mean, like a miniseries?
Like 30, 40 minutes per, and then just spread it out. And that's like a series of.
And everyone's gonna be tuned in.
Yeah, I mean, you make a lot of money on that.
But if they don't like the first episode, they might not come back for the rest.
I'm curious to see if they.
I hope they show it in theaters.
That would be sick if they did. I would totally go see it.
I would definitely go see it.
Curious to see if this movie is really good, or these episodes, or whatever the heck they're doing. If they are really good, more than likely it's going to be kind of more cliffhanger-ish, because from what I've been told, kind of the end is like where they kind of reveal Darkseid is like behind everything, and that was supposed to kind of set up future films. So I'm kind of curious to see if they will maybe try and continue that storyline, or if they're just going to scrap it. So kind of the advantage with Warner Brothers is now they have this ace in the hole, okay? And that ace in the hole is the Flash movie. Because with the Flash movie, they can basically unscrew up every single thing that they've screwed up to this point. They can explain that, they have a new Batman now, they have a new Joker now, like all these different things, because in the Flash movie, it's supposed to be based off the Flashpoint storyline where he goes back in time, changes some things, and kind of screws up the whole timeline. So I'm curious to see if it does well, and they film the Flashpoint movie, or they just kind of change a few things, and then just kind of continue with that storyline because it is popular.
I don't think they'll do that, but it is a good idea.
What do you think's going to happen?
I mean, it's like it's like any Star Wars fan saying,
I'm gonna go back in time and
wish
any of the other 6 movies ever happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's someone that which there was fan theories out there that mentioned that and it's not going to happen because that's just not how it works these days. No, I don't think that's going to happen, but
it was a pretty cool thing on the CW shows. I know, like, to real comic book people, some people don't like those shows, but they had a crossover event, and they were all from different worlds and Earths.
Yeah.
And I forget who came by.
Ezra Miller came with
Yeah, they were all in it. They
Flashes,
did. Yeah, they had all those like old
Yeah.
Supermans, and they had everyone come through, and they had like that. But the
Talking
thing
about
was like,
different Earths and all
yeah,
that?
they were from different Earths, and what happened was I forget who destroyed it now. I watched it.
Spectre.
No, Spectre. The arrow turned into Spectre.
Right.
But the guy that destroyed it, I can't think of the
I forget.
The Monitor. And the Anti-Man Monitor. So they destroyed like all the Earths, and there was only one Earth. So now all the superheroes are on one Earth instead of. So they kind of explained the story how like they were on the same Earth, because before they didn't know who each other was, and they were only meet each other when they went to different Earths. So now they explained everything, how like all it came to one. So that's kind of cool, I thought.
Yeah.
That was cool though, because they had like Ezra Miller,
cool.
had the very like all those Flash people.
That was pretty interesting.
They had from Smallville. They had that guy.
And I mean, it's like, it's a comic book. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you can. So if they had enough, they had the gall to do that, then good for them. They should do it. But I just don't think it's going to happen. But I agree.
So one thing I'll mention is it's been reported that Henry Cavill will now be coming back to play Superman, and they're going to have him do some cameos. So my thinking is they're going to do some cameos, kind of build up some more audience, and then finally give him another movie. And I'm really happy to hear this because I love Henry Cavill. I think he's an awesome Superman. I think they've totally screwed him
I think
over.
you have a crush on him.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's so beautiful. But they totally just screwed him over in the movies, I feel like. I mean, the whole stupid mustache thing and like all that stuff, and like he still wants to play the character. Like he loves it, and it's just like
He's a good fit.
Yeah, he's an amazing fit. So
I could think of a better fit though.
Who?
Not that he's not a good fit.
Go ahead.
He is.
Name someone better. I'll wait.
Okay. Okay. Better Superman. Let's go with Tom Hardy.
A Superman? What?
Yeah.
Tom, he's like 5 feet nothing.
They can make.
He's
him
like
look
your
better.
height. You're gonna be.
There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Let me continue.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
This
This is good.
is it good?
I'm gonna get lots of views on this.
I think you help me out.
Yeah. No, he's on his own.
On this list is probably like Tobey Maguire and
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Mark. All the short guys
Yeah.
that need a little Superman.
That was the worst
I
Superman
think
list
when
I ever heard.
when they had it, they should have picked the Smallville guy.
Yeah.
That show was huge back. I don't know. Back in high school.
If I had some time, I would come up with a list.
Yeah, I said I'd wait on you. That's what you came up with. Was Tom
I need more time.
Sure.
Okay, fine.
No,
Not time.
no, it's fine. No, it's okay.
All right.
Maybe another.
I take
video.
my list back.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, you got comic book. You think you can come up with a better list? If I had a good few minutes.
You know who's not a good Superman is the guy on Supergirl. He doesn't.
Oh.
He's not a good Superman.
You don't like him?
Nah.
I think for a TV Superman, he's fine.
What about we could do Michael B. Jordan. He's getting a black superhero.
He was in
Superman.
talks to do it at some point.
Yeah,
That'd
it
have been good. I could
That
see
was
that.
good. That's the first decent one you named in 10 minutes, so not bad.
I think that's a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to add?
No. Do you feel better now that we spoke about
I
it?
feel a little bit better,
Yeah.
and I'm really happy because I really wasn't going to get HBO Max, but now I am, and it's good to finally have something to look forward to on the channel. And next year can't come soon enough for multiple reasons, but especially for
It's been a
the Snyder Cut.
crazy year.
It has been. It's only going to get better.
It's only been 4 or 5 months.
It's going to get totally better.
You know.
But a space shuttle launched today, so that's good.
I watched that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh yeah. I am more excited about that than this Snyder Cut. But
We're going to edit that out.
Would you guys go to space?
yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Would Ashley let you go to space?
Yeah,
That's the
she
question.
doesn't want me to go to space.
Shit, for a long time.
Get me out of here for a while.
How long is he going to be gone? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm all about, especially that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Commercial space flight. That's
I know.
crazy.
All right, well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. Leave a comment down below about your thoughts on the Snyder Cut, your thoughts on Henry Cavill, your thoughts on other people that could play Superman,
Thank you.
and we'll be sure to reply. So, anything else, Dr. Shed?
I say go squirrel, go girl.
Yeah. Drake, take us out.
Next time on our shows, we will be unboxing a key from a recent comic book store haul. So join us then to see which one it is.
I'm excited to hear about this.
And one of these, we're going to take you into our comic book endeavors and showing you how we pick what comics we pick, and especially if they're random. I mean, sometimes we see them online.
Yeah.
And they pick them out, but we're just going to go there and see if we can pick up something. Maybe you guys can agree with us.
Oh, they'll agree with us for sure.
Yeah.
And the grading one was the Frank Miller books.
Oh yeah, hopefully those are back. Those will be back in a few more weeks, I think, actually. All right, guys, thanks for sticking this out with us. Have a good week.